Hello, everyone. I am SS, the showstopper, and it's the 28th of August, 2023. Now, for those who love reality shows or reality TV shows like myself, such as The Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise, I was watching it last night and the scenery stood out to me. The scene of Drew Sidora and her husband Ralph, I think his name is Ralph Pittman. She was confiding in him, and she was telling him that his cousin Courtney had called her a bitch, a bitch. And she was very much upset about it because Courtney, when she confronted Courtney was denying it, or someone as Monietta, who is on the show, had made it known that Courtney said it at the dinner table. I don't know why she chose to bring that part up because clearly it's just to stir problems and mischief. Anyways, Drew was confiding in Ralph and saying that your cousin called me a bitch and it was caught on tape. And she was denying it. However, it showed. We couldn't confirm if she was referring to Sonia or she was referring to Drew. But for so far, we have confirmed that she was referring to Drew in saying it. Her husband, was behaving rather nonchalant about the situation. He was unemotional, unresponsive, he was unbothered, he seemed to not want to meddle in it. And it was very irritating for Drew. She didn't like the fact that her husband wasn't in support of her or was standing up for her when she confided in him about what his cousin was saying. She went further and she was saying, "Are you okay with your cousin calling me a bitch?" And whatever the case may be, Ralph went further and invited Drew's sister in the conversation. And he was saying that Marlo, Kenya, Candy, so many of them have called you a bitch and you never seem to be bothered by it. Why is it that you are so bothered with Courtney calling you a bitch to the point wherein you need to bring it to me for me to be having a discussion with you about it? The sister, in defense of her sister Drew, had said, "Listen, if you call her a banana and she said she don't like it, it's your duty as a husband to defend her or support her based on that. It matters not who else had said it. Once she don't like when you said it, that's it. It doesn't go any further." And of which I can understand where the sister is coming from and she giving her opinion because it was solicited by the husband Drew. She decided to digress and take herself away from the argument between Drew and her husband because she didn't want to be a part of it. And Drew went further, was crying, was upset that her husband is embarrassing her, not supporting her, and stuff like that. Here is my 2 cents on it. From one angle, I can understand where Ralph is coming from. He's a man. He's a full grown man, not a grown boy, not a teenager, not an immature person. He's a man and he's also your husband. For you to confide in him saying that someone called you a bitch, of which you're on a reality show that centers around drama, squabbles, constant disagreement, and mediocrity when it comes to the issues that you guys are having. You understand? For you to be on a reality show that centers around all of that, you would be more prepared. I thought you'd be more prepared, more ready, more cautious, more understanding that name calling fly over the years on the reality show. And it's a situation wherein you have been called that name before. So what's with the upheave about Courtney calling you that? And based on the nature of it, it would seem as if Courtney wasn't necessarily being disrespectful, but she was just bringing a point across based on her disdain. But she wasn't necessarily being disrespectful because they have a tendency to call each other the B word. So that's where Ralph is coming from. He wanted to know why should he step out of his place as a man to go into a diatribe with his cousin over her calling you the B word, of which you guys are known to call each other out of their names, whether you're doing it for fun or whether you're upset. And so I understand completely where Ralph is coming from. I can understand. He is a man. He is married. He's also her husband. He is standing in his place as a man. Unlike the situation where Ross stepped in and he cautioned all the ladies, do not F with his wife, we can also understand that situation because it would have seemed as if they were ganging up on Sanya or it was systemic bullying where she was trying to defend herself, and him knowing how they are due to previous episodes, scenes, and season on the show, he had to step in and defuse a bomb and let them know seriously that this is my place. Do not go any further with this conversation because it's not looking good, and it seems as if you guys want to bully or gang up on my wife, and I won't be having it. It was finished, it was done, and it was there. That I can understand, despite the fact that Kenya wanted to bring it further to label us as aggressive and all of that, of which he had apologized for. In the case of Ralph, also, I don't think that Ralph needed to step in. I don't think Ralph needed to confront his cousin. I don't think Ralph needed to be a part of it unless Drew's life was threatened, her safety was threatened. She was saying some damning things on social media or in the group to destroy the reputation or the imagery and character of Drew. Her husband needed not to be a part of that in its entirety. So I can understand where Ralph is coming from. However, as a husband and your wife is confiding in you about a situation that she is very uncomfortable about, I think he could have said to her, I think he could have consoled her, and I think he could have simply said to her, honey, that's water under a bridge. Let's not speak on it. Give her a kiss, give her a hug, comfort her, let her know, ride the wave because we have seen this before and you have overcome it. Let's not delve into any more negativity about it. When you see her, you speak to her about it, let her know you don't like it, and you move on from there. I think as a husband, he could have consoled his wife because that's what she seemed to was looking for. Even if he didn't confront Courtney, his cousin, Drew was looking for that consolement. She was looking for her husband to give her some sort of comfort, to let her know that better days are ahead. Stepping up his place as a comforting husband, as a wonderful husband, as a husband that is there to protect and to provide for her. She was looking for that. However, she felt as if she was left alone. He was undermining her concern. He was unemotional, unresponsive. He was just nonchalant and don't care about the scenario. And that's basically how she felt he was treating her. So I can also understand where Drew is coming from. Yes, she's overly dramatic. I've seen it before. She doesn't seem to be very truthful. She seemed to be up and down when it comes to speaking the truth. But that's another story. I think in this scenario, however, Ralph could have console his wife and speak to her calmly, softly, give her a kiss, give her a hug, and all of the good stuff, and make her feel whole again. We also see another scene where they both were speaking to the counselor. I think it's a therapist, but they were both speaking to the individual, and the things that Ralph was saying was very, very disturbing. He went into a separate room, of which I can understand, to sleep because his wife comes in late after work. And when he wakes up, it's very difficult for him to get back to sleep, which he's saying it takes him a good 2 hours before he can go back to rest, of which he has to get up early and go to work. So he be depriving himself of a good night's sleep. I can understand where that is concerned. However, Drew is making it known that he went into the other room without telling her, without them having a discussion about it, that babe, until your show is finished, I'm going to sleep in that room. She also put it forward that the one of the kids um told her that they were upset that daddy's sleeping in the other room and they were upset and stuff like that. He didn't want them in there. And he was saying that's a lie. So he was putting it out that she is lying. She had good thing she had the text message. It was text that the kids sent to their mommy. And she pulled up the text message and showed him that the son actually sent the message and was saying that they were mad that daddy don't want them in the room, and he left out of the bedroom and didn't say anything to them. And he is basically unresponsive. He's like he doesn't care. He doesn't show any emotion to say I am sorry and stuff like that. As soon as everything is over and your movie is finished, we'll be back together. We can start the process. I'll be more romantic. I'll be more caring and understanding towards your feelings, and I'll make the kids know that it's all over. It was just temporary. He didn't say any of that. He only said that he has given her time to get herself together and to be by herself and comfortable, and he has given himself the space to be comfortable also. So she wins, he wins. It's almost like he's happy being by himself. He's happy being alone. He doesn't seem to want his marriage. I don't know where the therapist got it from that they both love each other, because that is not love. I'm not seeing anything that shows a sign of love. He showed up because he's a husband. He showed up for therapy and he's doing his husband duty. He also showed up because of good face and it's on camera. So he doesn't want his side to look bad. But all in all, in retrospect, he doesn't love her. He doesn't love her. I don't see any sign wherein he really. I think what he has is high tolerance because he's married to her and because they have children together. But besides that, I don't think he loves his wife because she can't be showing wanting the simplest of emotion and concern from him, and he is making an excuse. He's also, unemotional. It's almost like he's being disrespectful, like he doesn't care. He doesn't care about his wife's feelings. And I don't like that scene from Ralph. I don't like what he represents. I don't like that at all. It seems as if he's distracted or he's comfortable by himself, or maybe he's getting attention from someone else that he desires. And so he's just tagging along because he's married to her. After the show now, we've seen wherein she has filed for divorce from him and stuff like that. I can't say I blame her, because if he's not being a husband and he's not performing his husband duties, or there are infidelities in the marriage, whatever the case may be, it doesn't make sense, because you will be, who wants to be married and single at the same time? Who wants to be married with no husband and he's alive? He's not in prison, he's not dead, he's not sick in the hospital, he's alive and well, he's working his money, he's married to her. He's not overseas working. He's living in the same area, the same house, but he's not being a husband. That's like you're married to yourself. You're lonelier than if you were single. And I can't speak on relationship to that because I'm not a relationship guru. I'm not a relationship advice expert or anything like that. But I have enough common sense and wisdom to know that a person who loves you has to demonstrate it, because love is a verb. It's an action word. It's not an I'm sorry, it's not an adjective, it's not an adverb, I'm sorry, and it's not a noun. It's a verb. You have to can demonstrate love, and if you're not demonstrating it to your wife, it simply means that you don't love your wife. You don't. And it hurts because Drew is always crying. If you're on the show as a wife and when it comes to your husband, there's a scene where you're always crying, something is just not right. She's craving for the attention from the for the love and care. And she knows, women knows when they're being half-assed. You know when he's just there and he's not there. And that's where the problem comes in. So she's hurting and she can't pretend anymore. So she's expressing it through crying. You can't be on the show and every scene with your husband, you are always crying. You are always crying. Now we all know we have our personal disdain for Drew. We get that. We have our personal disdain. But come on. Ralph, you have lost it this way. You have lost it. You are losing major points. Major points. That's not the characteristics of a husband. That's not how you take care of your wife. The very good book, they say that they were Christians. The very good book tell you. It tells a wife to submit to her husband, and it also tell the husband to do what? Love your wife as how Christ loved the church. Love your wife as how Christ loved the church. Men are out there hunting for the perfect woman. They're hunting for something that don't exist. You guys are going to find yourself alone, lonely, with nobody in the end, and hoping and praying that you get one visit from someone. Because all the women that you have met and your wives, you treat them like garbage. You treat them like garbage. You don't know the value of a woman. You don't know what it is like. to value a woman who loves you and who cares about you and who wants to be there for you. You treat them so bad because what? You have options. So as long as you have options, you feel that you must always exercise it until time catches up with you. It's unfair to put her through that. I don't agree with a lot of things that Drew does. I think sometimes she's annoying, but at the same time, it gives you no right as a husband to be ill treating. Drew is beautiful. So we're not gonna act as if she isn't a gorgeous woman. She is beautiful and she's also very talented. She's very talented. She can sing. She can belt out a high note, but she can sing and she can act. She's a very great actress. So whatever issues that you guys are having, it could easily well be resolved. Yes, she needs to listen more, but come on. Is she lying, cheating, disrespecting you in public, belittling you? I don't see any signs of that. I don't see any signs of that. So whatever it is that you guys were going through could have easy. People are just too quick to get over each other, too quick to abandon each other. Nobody wants to stick it out. Nobody wants to work it out. You're always too quick to hop onto the next woman, to hop into bed with the next woman at all times. You just want to get give in to carnality and just hop into bed to with the next woman, at all times, and not learn to forgive, learn to work things out, learn to work on communication. Communication skills is extremely poor, and it matters not how educated you guys are, how intelligent you guys are. That's like a serious shortcoming, because the issues that Drew and her husband Ralph were having, it's something that could have easily be resolved. If two people wanted to work, it will work. They could have easily communicated more, and I like them together as a couple. I think they were both very attractive. I think that there was a love between them and stuff like that, especially him wanting to adopt her son and stuff like that. That was one of the sweetest and kindest selfless thing a man could ever do for a woman, or a husband could do for a wife. He wrote a book, he was doing all that good stuff. They were working as a team. But sometimes I guess you grew apart loving each other, but you need to get back to it. You can grow apart loving each other and you work on it. How do I love my wife again like I just met her? How do I care about my wife like the day when I just met her? She's craving for you, she's hungry for your attention, she wants it. She's a human being who deserves love and care. And it's very, very sad to know that Ralph, you treated Drew this way, to the point wherein they're competing to see who can file for divorce sooner. And it's just a sad story. It's just a sad story. And I hope they both find a way to resolve it. I both they come to both come to an amicable decision and work it out and behave like mature adults during the process, or if they decide to reconcile, whatever the case may be. That's all I have to say. Enjoy yourselves. God bless you.